audience in Facebook, Colombia, Argentina, Europe, Asia, Canada, India, wherever you guys are. I'm very, very happy right now because I got, I was in a business meeting and then I said, hey, would you like to be on my Facebook Live interview? It's like, what?
Sure.
What for? I was born in the US. What are you talking about? Here we are sharing the stories of the 100 Days of American Immigrants. And I am with Nick Brannon. How do you pronounce your last name? Brannon? Brannon. And we were talking about ideas of, how to increase, the business structure for entrepreneurs, for business owners and whatnot. And then in the middle of the conversation, I said, because as a matter of fact, the reason we know each other is for a close friend of ours. And before we go into detail of the conversation, why don't you tell us a little bit of background on your name, how old are you, a little bit of yourself.
Definitely. All right. So my name is Nick Brannon. I'm 24 years old now. I graduated from the University of Houston's entrepreneurship department or entrepreneurship program a little while ago. Awesome program, by the way.
Yes, it is.
And now I've just kind of took a year off. I did a lot of traveling. I like traveling and anything adventurous. And now I just got.
Where'd you go?
Mostly around the U.S. My best friend lives in Italy, so
Okay.
I went and visited him. We try and do kind of every other year. We go and visit each other. And then I just went around the United States mostly. I got to visit all my family. I got to think about what I wanted to do with my life.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you graduated about a year and a half ago, 2 years.
Yeah.
So you're a true millennial that people love and hate. Apparently.
They're a double-edged sword.
I've heard all kinds of things online. We've been sharing, as some of you may be aware, and some of you that have no clue what we're doing here, we're sharing stories about immigrants in the United States, or just immigrants in general in the world, and how people impact communities and how people bring in other communities, enrich and create subcultures. Now, I want to ask you the question. You're young, you were born in the USA, you studied at the University of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
What is your perception and your view of growing up with diversity and people from other cultures?
I think it's really important, and I think one of the most important things about diversity is I personally have a strong belief that societal constructions can be really important to your culture, but they can also be destructive. Sometimes we get these ideas that are dysfunctional in one way or another, and without diversity, without being exposed to other ideas, you never even challenge those.
Okay.
So having an environment where there are a lot of different people with a lot of different ways of thinking, it makes you challenge assumptions you might make that might not otherwise be challenged. And I think that's really a good thing about Houston is you get to say, okay, even if somebody doesn't give you the idea you decide to go with, that makes you question yourself. And by questioning yourself, it helps you make deliberate decisions about your values.
Your values.
Really be the best version of yourself instead of just taking things for granted.
Taking things for granted. So in agreement with you. Now, why don't you tell us very quickly how we met, through what and how, or through who?
Yeah, definitely. So I dated a girl in college whose name is Valentina Olarte, and she's from Colombia.
She's from Bogota, Colombia, my hometown.
Yeah, and we're still really good friends. And she introduced me to you, what was it, like a year ago?
About a year ago, yes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more, but she was really excited. She said, Nick, you got to meet Juan Carlos. He's into fitness and he's into business and real estate and he travels all the time. And I was like, man, this guy sounds awesome. So I wasn't disappointed. I
She's the best. I appreciate it.
She is.
I pay her a lot of money, by the way. So she's doing her job perfectly. Now, tell us if you could think of somebody that you met, an immigrant that somehow impacted your life or is impacting your life while you're involved in your professional life.
My professional life. So I'm actually going to go with a friend of mine named Tree Wynn. And he was a classmate of mine in the Wolf Center for Entrepreneurship at U of H. And this dude has a determination that not a lot of people have. I don't know his story in detail, but I know that things were tough enough for him at one point in his process of immigrating that it gave him a burning determination that he was going to be extremely successful. And
so what country did you say?
I think he's from Vietnam.
From Vietnam, okay. So from Vietnam, first generation or
I believe
came here as an immigrant?
I'm not sure whether he was born here or not, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Either he moved here when he was very young or he was born here.
Okay.
But the immigration was still very fresh in his experience. You know, he wasn't one of those second generation kids that comes and they're born and they go to American schools and they have the exact same life that everyone else here has. The fact that his parents were immigrants had an impact on his life, and that's what I know for sure.
Correct.
And he.
What about U of H? I mean, just because University of Houston is just down the street, and I was getting a master's in Oklahoma University, OU, and it's probably, my opinion, is dominated by a certain group of ethnicity. And when I came here to Houston for one day, I was completely surprised of the amount of blended cultures at the school. What's your opinion on the diversity in the University of Houston?
Oh, it's huge. University of Houston, if it's not still the most diverse campus in the nation or the world, I'm not sure. It's you could look it up. You can get on Google right now, but it's one of the top.
Can you recall nationalities of people that went to school with you?
They're from everywhere. You've got Cameroon. If I just start naming stuff, Cameroon, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Germany, pretty much every country you can think of.
Okay.
I met somebody at the University of Houston who was from there. France. Yeah, every European company or country, most Asian ones. I'm sure there are some, more obscure countries from, like Africa that I didn't encounter, but I probably did and just didn't know it, to be honest. So.
Now, you are an entrepreneur. You are, getting your gig, structured. That's the meeting that we had before here, to look for opportunities for collaboration. How do you see having a diverse, company playing a role in a community, as opposed to just a company that is based on monocultural level?
I think, and actually this is where I'll kind of change gears on you a little bit, but I think having a uniform culture in a company is really important. But I don't think that necessarily means that everyone comes from the same place. But I do think
You're speaking of more of a business culture,
yeah, exactly.
not just the members.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think really that's my only consideration.
Okay.
Where somebody comes from, it doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is how they're going to fit in and be part of a vision that I have for a company. So that's kind of like I guess I'd say it's like a not applicable almost.
Yeah, because we create our own cultures, within companies. So
exactly.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. I think diversity, generally tends to be a good thing if you have everyone. I'll tell you what's bad. What's bad is having a group where everyone thinks exactly the same way. That's dangerous. So there has to be diversity of thought. It's got to come from somewhere.
Right.
Whether that's from international travel, whether that's from different personality types.
So true, man. So true. Totally agree with you. Now, our promise is to keep every clip under the 10 minutes. We got about a minute and a half left over. What I'd like to just before we wrap up and everything, because we're not going to have this one in Spanish, unfortunately, but we'll bring. Está mejorando su español. For those millennials, entrepreneurs in anywhere in the world, from the US or non-US, what could be the only one, observation or piece of advice, whatever you want to leave the audience today to reflect and think on, especially they're millennials, not they're 50 or 40, they're in the 20s and 30s. Yeah. What would be your feedback today?
That's a huge one. All right, so just advice for
or let's say somebody who's not an entrepreneur but he's been thinking, because you went to school for it.
I did.
Which is different. Let's say somebody who went to school for arts and he's been thinking, okay, now I really want to create my own business.
Yes. I guess my biggest advice would be kind of twofold. I'd say, kind of firing from the hip here, think pragmatically. If you're thinking about starting your own business, you've got passion. You're dreaming big. And keep doing that. Don't let anything stop you from doing that. But also, think pragmatically. How are you going to get from where you are now to where you want to go? Because I feel like a lot of people who want to start, big, they've got a big vision. They get so caught up in how big their vision is, they don't think about what their very next step is. So if you want to get serious about building something, figure out, where you want to end up. That's super important. Otherwise, you won't have the motivation to work hard. But also, like, what do you need to do tomorrow? What do you need to do next week? What are your very next steps? And that's what's going to really kind of get you down the path and get you rolling and get you out of your chair so you're not just sitting there dreaming.
Put it in the work and the discipline. That's what I hear right now.
Absolutely.
Think, not overthink, just keep it light, but you have to have some sort of structure. Thank you so much, Nick, for saying yes to my out of the bomb request. Boom, we're going to do. Okay, let's get it done. Thank you so much, guys. If you want to learn more about Nick and how he's going to be helping, and he's been helping a lot of young entrepreneurs in the city of Houston and probably very soon across the board in internationally. His name is LinkedIn right here. Please go check his profile if you want to message him directly. Don't be afraid of. And thank you so much for watching. If you think this is some sort of value to your day, please share and any comments. I appreciate. Thank you. Rashak Tawar is saying hi to Nick.
What's up, Rashak?
And I got Finn Brulet, your friends, and then I got.
I'm driving all my traffic to you.
And then I'm thinking Emily Khaled is also joining us right now. We've got more people that we. In the computer is different. No. In the computer is a little bit different because you're not able to see everybody right away. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Share it if you like it if you like it, and any comments are welcome. Have an amazing day. Thank you.